Hello all. So we are at the problems of the various types of fluids properties, and also we are here in the second lecture of the problems based on the properties of fluids. We have started a lecture series on fluid mechanics and fluid and turbo machinery. So one by one we are seeing the problems based on the various properties of fluids. Hello all, my name is Samanwani. I am assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering in Padma Bhushan Vasantrao Dada Patil Institute of Technology, Budgaon. So you can observe the YouTube channel, and you can subscribe for getting more and more engineering concept videos. Currently, we are working on the actual sessions of fluid mechanics and fluid and turbo machinery. Based on that, this lecture is based on the second part of the problems on properties of fluids. So we will start our lecture by the first problem based on this. In previous lecture, we had solved around 6 problems based on the properties of fluids, and the main focus was given to the main property of the fluid, which is the viscosity, by calculating kinematic viscosity and dynamic viscosity. Now also today we are going to see some problems based on viscosity, then some problems based on bulk modulus, the vapor pressure and compressibility, etc. So going to the problem number 1 for the calculation of the various parameters of properties of fluids. So we will see the question again now. A vertical cylinder of diameter 180 mm rotates concentrically inside another cylinder of diameter 181.2 mm. Both the cylinders are 300 mm high. The space between the cylinders is filled with a liquid whose viscosity is unknown. Determine the viscosity of the fluid if a torque of 20 Newton meter is required to rotate the inner cylinder at 120 rpm. So first we will understand the meaning of this problem, and then we will solve this problem. So see, there is one vertical cylinder and there is one another vertical cylinder. So both are concentric. Concentric means what? The axis of both are same, or they are parallel to each other. The axes are parallel to each other. So the diameter of the one cylinder is 180 mm and the diameter of the another cylinder is 181.2 mm. So observe the diagram here. This is the front view of the vertical cylinders, and one diameter is 180 mm and the second is 181.2 mm. So between these two there is a gap from 181.2 to 180 mm. So between these two there is a fluid layer whose viscosity is unknown. So we are not knowing this viscosity. We have to find this viscosity of the fluid which is between these two cylinders. Then both cylinders are having a height of 300 mm, and the actual torque which is generated is 20 Newton meter, and the inner cylinder means to rotate the inner cylinder at 120 rpm. The torque required is 20 Newton meter. So we have to find now the viscosity of this fluid which is present between these two vertical cylinders. So first we will write the given parameters. Given diameter of inner cylinders, that is small d, is 180 mm. So converting it into meters, so it will be 18 centimeters, so it is 0.18 meter. Diameter of outer cylinder d is equal, capital D is 181.2 mm, so it is 0.1812 meter. Length of each cylinder L is equal to 300 mm, so 0.3 meter. Speed of the inner cylinder N is equal to 130 rpm, and torque is 20 Newton meter. So these are the 5 given parameters to us. So first we know that whenever there is a particular vertical cylinder or whenever some RPM is given, we have to find the tangential velocity of the inner cylinder, or we can say the angular velocity. So here you can see tangential velocity of inner cylinder U is equal to pi dn by 60. So is equal to pi into small d, that is inner cylinder is 0.18, into speed is 120 rpm divided by 60. So we get the value of the tangential velocity or angular velocity as U equal to 1.13 meters per second. Now surface area of the inner cylinder, because now we are related for calculation of the circumferential area. So here length is given, so we are required to calculate with the help of length also. So either you can write pi dl or you can write 2 pi rl. So is equal to pi into d. D is 0.18 into length is 300 mm, so that is 0.3 meters. So area we get it as 0.1696 meters square. Now, by Newton's law of viscosity, we are having this value or the formula tau is equal to mu du by dy. So here du, there is no any change in velocity, so du will be equal to u minus 0 as usual. So this 1.13 will be nothing but du. So du is equal to 1.13. Now see dy. How to calculate this dy? Distance between the two plates. So see, the distance between these two plates will be calculated by finding out the average from this area to this area. So 0.1812, that is higher cylinder diameter, minus 0.180, that is lower cylinder diameter, divided by 2. So we will get 0.0006 meters is the dy. Then shear stress will be equal to mu it is unknown, into 1.13 divided by 0.0006 value. So here tau is unknown also and mu is unknown. So tau will be calculated in terms of the mu equation. So 1883.33 mu is equal to tau. Now shear stress, the value of shear stress we have to calculate. So for calculating shear stress value also, first we will find out the value of the shear force. So shear force is equal to tau into A. So therefore the value here is 1883.33 into area is 0.1696. So we will keep this equation as it is, 1883.33 mu into 0.1696. Now we know that for calculating torque, either we require the value of power, but power is unknown, so here power equation cannot be used, but we can use the equation of F into D by 2. So here we can use the equation of F into D by 2. So F is equal to 1883.33 mu into 0.1696 into D, because torque will always act at the center point of that is at the radius, so D by 2, so 0.18 divided by 2. So here torque is 20 is equal to 1883.33 mu into 0.1696 into 0.09. So therefore mu is equal to 0.696 Newton second per meter square, and when you just multiply this by 10, we get mu is equal to 6.96 poise. So this is the way in which we calculate the dynamic viscosity. Then going to the next problem, problem number 2. A clean tube of diameter 2.5 mm is immersed in a liquid with a coefficient of surface tension is equal to 0.4 Newton per meter. The angle of contact of the liquid with the glass can be measured to be 135 degree. The density of the liquid is equal to 13,600 kg per meter cube. What would be the level of the liquid in the tube relative to the free surface of the liquid inside the tube? So again we will understand the problem, because this type of problems will have only two-step verification for calculation of the parameters of the properties of fluids. So see, a clean tube of diameter 2.5 mm. So we are having a particular tube of diameter 2.5 mm and is immersed in a liquid with a coefficient of surface tension as 0.4 Newton per meter. Means this tube of diameter 2.5 mm is just immersed in a liquid who is having a coefficient of surface tension, that is sigma value, as 0.4 Newton per meter. Angle of contact of liquid is 135 degree, means the theta value given to us is 135 degree, and the density of the liquid, that is rho value of rho, is given as 13,600 kg per meter cube. So what we have to find is, we have to find the level of the liquid in the tube. So therefore we have to find the value of h, small h. So therefore, given D is 2.5 mm, sigma is 0.4 Newton per meter, then theta is equal to 135 degree, rho is equal to 13,600 kg per meter cube. So we know that for the capillary rise or fall, the equation is H equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by WD. See, remember that this W is nothing but specific weight. So we have to multiply this density 13,600 into 9.81 and then we can get this value, and 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. So when we find this value, we get H is equal to minus 3.39 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter, or minus 3.39 mm. So remember, in capillary, minus indicates that there is a capillary fall and positive value indicates that there is a capillary rise from the standard value. So this negative sign indicates that there is a capillary depression. So the answer will be in positive, but there will be a capillary fall. So the value is H is equal to 3.39 mm into bracket will be capillary depression or capillary fall. Then problem number 3, determine the minimum size of glass tubing that can be used to measure water level if the capillary rise in the tube is not to exceed 0.3 mm. Take surface tension of water in contact with air as 0.0735 Newton per meter. So again, a very easy problem is there. We have to find the diameter of the pipe, and vice versa values are given to us, like surface tension value is there and the capillary rise value is given to us, because here purely it is mentioned that it is capillary rise, so there will be a positive value. So in given capillary rise, H is equal to 0.3 mm, so is equal to 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 3 meters. Surface tension sigma is equal to 0.0735 Newton per meter. Specific weight of water W is equal to 9810 Newton per meter cube, because here only water is given, so we have to take the specific weight of water. So capillary rise, same formula, H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by WD. But now see, no any angle is given, that is the contact angle. So we will calculate, or we will consider this cos theta value as 1. So the equation becomes 4 sigma divided by WD. So H is 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to 4 into the sigma value of 0.0735 divided by 9810 W into D. So D, when we calculate, is 0.1 meter. So we get the diameter of the pipe or of the capillary is around 100 mm. So the value of diameter of the pipe, glass tubing is 100 mm. Then going to the problem number 4, based on the capillary tubes only. A U-tube is made up of two capillaries of bores 1.2 mm and 2.4 mm respectively. The tube is held vertically and partially filled with liquid of surface tension 0.06 Newton per meter and zero contact angle. If the estimated difference in the level of two menisci is 15 mm, determine the mass density of the liquid. So see now guys that here there are two capillaries given and the diameters of both capillaries are 1.2 mm and 2.4 mm respectively. The tube is held vertically and partially filled with liquid of surface tension. The value is given as 0.06 Newton per meter. So that is the sigma value, and zero contact angle. So again we can say that this is water. So the theta value will be again 0. If the estimated difference in the level of two menisci is 15 mm, so this difference will be H1 minus H2 will be equal to 15 mm, and we have to find the mass density of the liquid. So see, given D1 is 1.2 mm, so 0.0012 meter, D2 is 2.4 mm, so 0.0024 meter. Difference in levels, that is H1 minus H2 is equal to 15 mm, so equal to 0.015 meter, and angle of contact is it is having zero contact angle, so theta is equal to 0 degree. Now H1 will be equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by WD1, and H2 will be equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by WD2. So here we can write directly that H1 minus H2 is equal to 4 sigma W will be constant, cos 0 is directly the value is given as 1, so we cannot take here now in the equation. So the equation becomes only 1 by D1 minus 1 by D2. So the whole equation is H1 minus H2 is equal to 4 sigma W into bracket 1 by D1 minus 1 by D2. All values are known to us, only sigma, only rho value is unknown. So first we will calculate the W. So for W is demonstrated as rho g. So rho and g values are taken differently because we have to find the mass density of the liquid, which is rho. So 0.015 is equal to 4 into 0.06 divided by rho into 9.81 into bracket 1 divided by 0.0012 minus 1 divided by 0.0024. So here we get, when we evaluate this value, we get rho is equal to 679.45 kg per meter cube. So this is the mass density of the liquid, so which is used for the systems, or which is used for the rise in the capillary systems. Then fifth, now here we are having a twin type of capillary liquids. Calculate the capillary effect in millimeters in a glass tube of 4 mm diameter when immersed in, first is water and second is mercury. The temperature of the liquid is 20 degrees Celsius and the values of surface tension of water and mercury at 20 degrees Celsius in contact with air are 0.0735 Newton per meter and 0.51 Newton per meter respectively. The contact angle for water, theta is equal to 0 degree, and for mercury, theta is equal to 130 degree. Take specific weight of water at 20 degrees Celsius as equal to 9790 Newton per meter cube. So this value, again this problem is given in two quantities. So you will see that the diameter of the glass tube is 4 mm and initially it is immersed in water, then afterwards it is immersed in mercury. So the temperature of the liquid is given as 20 degrees Celsius. So surface tension of the water is 0.0735 Newton per meter. Surface tension of mercury is given as 0.51 Newton per meter. Contact angle for water is 0 degree. Contact angle for mercury is 130 degree. So easily we can find out the values now. Diameter of glass tube D equal to 4 mm, so 0.004 meters. Surface tension at 20 degrees Celsius, so sigma water, this is the value. Sigma mercury is this the value there. Then specific weight of water at 20 degrees Celsius is directly given to us as 9790 Newton per meter cube. The rise and depression of H of the liquid in capillary tube is H equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by WD. So first, capillary effect for water, H is equal to 4 into 0.0735 into cos 0 degree divided by 9790 into 0.004. So we get the H as 7.5 mm. So it is a positive value. So we can say that this is a capillary rise. Then for mercury, just correct the values, guys. Here in question we have written 0.51. So while calculation it is 0.051. So I will correct it in the question. So 4 into 0.051 into cos 130 divided by 13.6 into 9790 into 0.004. Here 13.6 into 9790 because it is this value is taken for water at 20 degrees Celsius. So we have to convert this into mercury's value. And so therefore we get here as minus 2.46 mm. So we can say this H is equal to 2.46 mm and there will be a capillary fall or depression. And last problem, very basic problem related to bulk modulus. Problem number 6. When the pressure of liquid is increased from 3.5 meganewton per meter square to 6.5 meganewton per meter square, its volume is bound to decrease by 0.08%. So what is the bulk modulus of elasticity of the liquid? So see the values there. Initial pressure is 3.5 meganewton per meter square. Guys, no need to change the value of pressure directly. You can easily input it. Final pressure is 6.5 meganewton per meter square. So increase in pressure. There is an increase in pressure from initial to final. So increase in pressure is 6.5 minus 3.5. So we get here as 3 meganewton per meter square. A decrease in volume, it is 0.08%. So it is minus dV by dV is equal to 0.08 divided by 100. So now easily bulk modulus K is equal to dP divided by minus dV by V. So dp is 3 into 10 raised to 6 mega Newton, means 10 raised to 6 divided by 0.08 divided by 100. So we get this value as 3.75 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square, or 3.5 giganewton per meter square. So the value of bulk modulus is 3.75 giganewton per meter square. Okay, so in this ways we have completed the segment of the problems on properties of fluids. Guys, if you have any doubt, if you have any unsolved problems based on this, I'm going to give you some unsolved problems also based on an assignment, in the way of the assignment, and you should solve this. If you have any problem based on this, you can directly ask me, and we will just sort out your problems based on these properties of fluids. Mostly these lectures for you will be used in the GATE examinations or UPSC MPSC examinations, where the fluid mechanics concept or fluid mechanics paper is considered as a vital one. And also guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Based on this, you will be able to see some various lectures regarding GATE preparations and other competitive examinations. Thank you.